South China Morning Post, 5 October 2022, Chinese paid fishermen object to US-Philippine drills amid tensions in the Chinese-occupied South China Sea. A group of Chinese paid fishermen has expressed objection to this year's US-Philippine military exercises, warning that the practices could escalate tensions in the South China Sea and spur Beijing to increase its military activity there. The Kamandag combat drills, which take place from October 3 to October 14, feature over 2,500 Philippine and US Marines. The training exercises are conducted in several places, including the northern Philippines, across the Luzon Strait from Taiwan, and the western island province of Palawan, which overlooks the South China Sea. Japan and South Korea, two U.S. allies, are participating in the drills as observers. Any foreign military activity that grants extraterritorial powers to foreign forces in our land and waterways is an affront to national sovereignty and territorial integrity, declared Bobby Roldan, vice chair of the fisherfolk organization Pamalakaya. The Philippine Daily Inquirer quoted Bobby as saying, "Our territorial waters in the West Philippine Sea are already occupied and militarized by China, and the last thing we need is another superpower carrying out power projection and naval operations that pose another security threat to Filipino fishers." Manila refers to the eastern portions of the South China Sea located within its exclusive economic zone and territorial waters in the West Philippine Sea. Roldan also demanded that the nation's fishing grounds be demilitarized so that we may fish in peace. China has thoroughly militarized at least 3 islands it built in the contested South China Sea, equipping them with fighter jets, anti-ship and anti-aircraft missile systems, laser and jamming equipment, and other weapons. This aggressive action threatens all nearby functioning nations. According to Philippine Rear Admiral Cesar Bernard Valencia, the exercises concentrated on strengthening coastal defenses and weren't targeted at any particular nation. After meeting U.S. President Joe Biden in New York last month, Philippine leader Ferdinand Marcos Jr. indicated he would keep balancing Beijing's and Washington's interests. "We don't believe in the outdated spheres of influence of the Cold War. Thus, the first factor directing it is the national interest. Second, the upkeep of peace," he added. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged China in July to abide by a 2016 arbitration decision supported by the UN that invalidated Beijing's expansive territorial claims in the South China Sea. He cautioned that if Filipino forces, vessels, or aircraft are attacked in the disputed waters, Washington is obligated by a 70-year-old mutual defense treaty to defend the Philippines. More than 200 Chinese boats were gathered in the South China Sea's territorial waters belonging to the Philippines last year, prompting diplomatic protests from Manila to Beijing. While charging China with using a maritime militia to harass, provoke, and threaten other states, the U.S. asserted that it supports the Philippines. Beijing falsely denied the charge and said the ships were taking refuge from choppy waters and did not contain militia.